Hey guys, welcome back to Jump Street with Pilot D. So today's video is all gonna be about the books required to clear your DGCA exams. Nice jugaad, no? What I've done. This is a mic, this is a scale, and I can just hold it very easily. So you must have seen the first 40 seconds of the video, and probably you might have been in that exact same situation. So here, this is the list of the books that I have made and through which I have studied from for my DGC exam, and this is how I cleared my exams. Alright, I'm going to be talking about three subjects, that is meteorology, regulations, and navigation, because these are the only three subjects that I gave. So we'll divide this video into three sections, that is, one is for meteorology, next is regulations, next is navigation. For meteorology, the books required are the book which is made by IC Joshi, and one more is the Oxford book. These two books are more than enough to clear your meteorology exams. Alright, IC Joshi's front page, front book cover is right on the screen, and for Oxford also I'll show it to you if I have it. So guys, now I'm going to tell you is how to study for meteorology. I'll tell you how I studied and how I cleared this subject. So first thing I did was I studied IC Joshi's book thoroughly, like literally A to Z, every chapter. Yes, few chapters I didn't do it because those weren't in the portions and I skipped it off. Only not exactly, but in the last 2-3 chapters which are not there. If you want to know, just comment or text me on Instagram or join the Telegram group. IC Joshi studied the topics thoroughly, okay, because nowadays people are telling that the exams, the questions which are coming in the meteorology exams, it is very tricky and it's very difficult to understand and solve it, answer it. So what I'm going to suggest is you guys study the topics thoroughly, okay, like A to Z, literally every single word, whatever it is there, just make notes, everything, study the topic thoroughly, understand it. Only then it is possible for you to clear your DGC exams. Many people tell you if you do the questions it is more than enough, but guys, trust me, you might clear because of the only studying the questions, but in the end you're never gonna gain knowledge out of it, and probably sometime when you're flying or something and suddenly small things play a very big role. Alright, so just study everything. After you've studied all the chapters and its topics, simultaneously along after each chapter there's a back question for each chapter, okay. Well, I studied the first chapter properly, I didn't skip a single word, and then there were the questions in the end. So I studied all those questions, and whatever in those questions was there, right, the same content was there in the your topic, like in the chapter. So that's why I could understand the questions very neatly and I could answer them perfectly. I think there must be around, I don't know, I guess 15 chapters, I'm not sure. So again, after all those chapter comes your sample papers. There are around 5 sample papers, I'm not sure, 3-5 sample papers. Do those sample papers as well. So until you go for your exams, now suppose your exam is 3 days from today, continuously day and night just keep doing these questions. Alright, only then you'll have a grip of everything that you've studied. So one more way to study this is through the website called EATBL. Alright, in that everything is there. Now suppose let's go to the meteorology section. There you have the subsections, right? I'll go to IC Joshi. IC Joshi, in that first chapter, was the first chapter, the atmosphere, I guess. Yeah, so I'll go to the first chapter, and then later the same exact questions which are there in the back chapters of the physical copy of IC Joshi are the same questions which are there in this website. But guys, be careful, because whatever questions are there, some of it the answers are wrong. Alright, so I suggest you to just make sense of it, relate it to the books, and then come to a conclusion. All right. So until your exams, just keep doing it. That's it, guys. And Oxford also has many questions, so just do those questions. I never really studied from Oxford. I only studied IC Joshi thoroughly, the full book. I know A to Z, like that I studied. And the preparation time for this would be around 20 days. 20-25 days is more than enough, because even I took around that much time only to clear my metrology exams. I mean, it depends on each person's pace. So this completes metrology's section. You know what you have to do: Oxford, IC Joshi, EATPL website. Be careful with the EATPL website, because it's a lot of mistakes are there, so be advised about it. And then IC Joshi, A to Z thoroughly, like whatever is there, questions, everything, just keep solving it until your exam comes. All right. Oxford, I never really did it, but Oxford is quite helpful, it seems. So you guys can do Oxford as well. Okay, so now let's come down to regulations. So regulation subject has been very dear to me. I don't know regulations. I just love regulations, man. The thrill of studying and everything is just awesome. And then I did give 4 attempts in my regulation subject, because I mean, I knew everything. I'd studied everything A to Z, man. Again, the whole book, literally just finished everything. But the first attempt I got 64, second attempt I got 68. Just one question, 70 is the passing, right? And then again, guess what? Third attempt I got how much? What do you think? 68, guys. Oh my god, I was so depressed, and I was like, this is not gonna happen. What's going on? I mean, my life was all shattered. I was so heartbroken. Even my my breakup wasn't so heartbreaking, but this particular subject, getting 68 twice in this subject, was so heartbreaking and so depressing. I went to the dark corner of my side. Then fourth attempt I got 80, and I was like, God, so happy. I got tears. Okay, I didn't know that's actually true, but then I got tears of happiness. Can you believe it? 80 marks. I was so happy, because I put so much hard work. I studied a lot for regulations. Like, you can't imagine how much efforts I put into regulations, man. It was like that. RK Bali is the only book which you need to clear your regulations subject. Okay, there are many chapters, and it's very tricky. The English is very tricky. You may not be able to understand it, but somehow just put in that effort, concentrate and understand it. And also, for understanding, refer simultaneously with the Oxford book. Okay, so I studied some of the chapters from the Oxford book and some of the chapters from Arkebali. There's this chapter, Rules of Air, that you have to do it from Arkebali only, okay? Because rules of air are basically for the Indian rules. Oxford is UK, right? So you don't need to study UK rules. You have to study Indian ones, right? So study the rules of air chapter from the Arkebali's book. There are again around 20 chapters, I guess, 18-20 chapters. So guys, all the chapters thoroughly study, like same like how I told you for metrology, right? Literally everything, okay? Know your topic, understand it, and then it's gonna be very easy for you to come down to the questions. You're gonna easily understand it. Alright? Yes, through questions alone you can pass, but when you pass through questions alone, that is just pure luck. Trust me, guys. Pure luck. But if you're someone who wants to understand the topics and that kind of a person, then I suggest you study regulations, RK Bali, the whole book, the whole big, this fat book. Study as if the book is divided into three parts, like it's stone. Mine was. So study the whole book like that. So again, each chapter has its own questions behind. Around some chapters have 100 questions, some chapter have just 20 questions. So thoroughly do those questions, and then finally, after you finish studying the chapters and then all its questions, then come down to the sample papers. There are around 5 sample papers. No, the old edition had 5 sample papers. Currently, the new edition, the recent one, has around 15, I guess. I'm not sure. Even human performances sample papers, there are at least 4 of them, plus the old 3, I guess. So it's very good. There are at least more than 1,000 questions. Literally, yeah, more than 1,000 questions. So suppose let's just take 1,000 as a number of questions, alright? That is only after you study your topics, okay? You understand every chapter. then come to questions, and then finally your exam again. You have it from 3 days from today. So continuously every day do those 1,000 questions full. Refer. I'll tell you question banks, okay? But first, RK Bali, you have to know it thoroughly. Even if I come ask you midnight, 3 o'clock, you have to be able to answer it. The most common dialogue you listen from your teachers. But you have to be that very sure about your questions. Just keep doing it. Suppose you take 3 hours to complete those 1,000 questions. Again, take break for like 1 hour and again do those 1,000 questions. Continuously keep doing it until your exams. All right. Next comes recently for me when I gave my last attempt where I got 80 marks. Right. Surinder Singh's question banks and textbook, those have been very helpful. Surinder Singh's question bank, from that only, for me at my attempt, many questions came from that. Personally, I know. So I would suggest you guys to study that as well. Surinder Singh's question bank and his textbook. They're also back questions. Don't know the topic. If you want to do the topics, yeah. Again, I think it's same like RK Bali. I never studied it. I studied only RK Bali. But if you guys wanna, try it out and see, you can compare side by side RK Bali, Surinder Singh, and study and do all those questions together. All right. But again, 3 days from today is the exam. Just after you study all the chapters, questions, continuously until your exams. Questions. All right. Do that. And then comes EATPL website again. So there's this regulations section. Go to regulations, click on RK Bali. RK Bali again, many chapters. Go to the first chapter and click on that. You have same questions which are there in the physical copy of his book. Okay. So if you feel like you're a little lazy studying from the physical book, turning the page, checking the answers or something like that, come down to the EATPL website because there are type of MCQs, so you can continuously, click. Okay, guys. So regulations, RK Bali, Surinder Singh. Just keep doing those questions again and again after you have studied those topics. And if you want again any materials, let me know. I have them. I'll give it to you. Just text me. So this concludes regulations video. Okay. So by the way, how's my new look? No beard this time. So this is my look for my whole aviation journey. The beard one was just for the vacation. I mean, that is not exactly weird also. I was lazy to trim it out. Why am I talking about this? So let's come down to navigation. The most discussed topic in the whole of history of aviation for DGCA exams, whatever you can consider it. Oh, so this has a noise cancellation also. How is it? Is it good? I don't know, guys. This is some local mic I got. It is doing its work pretty decent enough, so I'm happy. You are happy. Let's begin. Guys, the first thing I would like to tell is for this subject, please enroll for some ground classes, okay? Because if you want to do it solo, which you can do it for meteorology and regulations, you can do them by yourself. You don't need any helps from ground classes or anything. But when it comes down to navigation, the subject is vast. It's divided into 3 sections. First is instruments, second is radio, third is general navigation. It's very huge, okay? It's easy. It's very easy. I don't know why people tell it's difficult, but for me, genuinely, it was easy because I had a good teacher and I did put in the efforts. I studied again, same as meteorology and regulations, and I cleared it easily. I had no problem. So, but luckily, studying hard work pays off, and I'm telling all this while I've cleared everything, but at that time, I was so frustrated. When will I clear my exams and everything? Anyways, let's just jump back to navigation. So for navigation, I'm suggesting you take ground classes somewhere. It is very helpful. Take it somewhere where it's very good. If you want to know where I went, I'll let you know. He was very good for navigation, though in my batch I didn't see the best out of him. I don't know why. My batch was a little cranky. Not the sir, the students. Maybe that's why sir didn't give his best, but that's okay. Usually he is good, so if you want to go there, I would 100% recommend it. It's worth the money, okay? It's worth the money. If you had seen my previous earlier 2 videos, then you would have known that I went to first coaching institute, first ground classes, and then I kind of lost my money just because I didn't have a proper quality teaching. It wasn't that great. And you guys have to know it, okay? Because you can't just pay money, lose all that money. And it's not like you go somewhere only if you're a good student. The sir is good. He'll help you out with everything. So what? If you're a bad student, no, me. I'm a kind of an average kind of student. I never used to get to know and first go only. Okay, I always used to take third or fourth try. There has to be someone who's patient enough for the third or fourth try as well, right? So I would suggest you to go for those kind of guys. My sir, the second coaching institute where I joined, he was really good. He helped with everything. He had a lot of patience. If you want to do it solo, I'll tell you the books that are required. First, I'll tell you the books. That is, first is Oxford, next is BALI, next comes many other question banks. In the internet, in Telegram, wherever you go, there are so many materials. There are a lot of them. Question banks has in study material. So it is a textbook only, but it is a simplified version. Okay. If you don't want to, go through the whole big book or anything, people have made out the simplified version of the books. You can just find them anywhere on the internet, and you can study through them. I do have some of them. If you want, let me know. I'll give it to you. It is just forwarded as I received it because I got it from somewhere. I keep it with me. If anyone wants some help or something, I'll pass it on to them. That's it. That's a disclaimer, guys. I don't want to get into some deep thing and all. Okay. Right. So how you have to prepare? So you have to be very careful about studying this topic. Okay, because I told you, right, three subsections, and in that also there are chapters. So for instruments, let's take in instruments also there are three subsections. That is pitot-static. Next comes magnetism. Next comes gyroscopes. All right. So instruments is very easy to study. You can yourself only prepare for instruments. But when it comes to general navigation, there are only a few topics. Okay, 10 to 12 topics. I'll if you want to know them, the topics and everything. I think I have a list. I can send it to you. Maybe you can give it a try. Study these topics and learn. And radio again. Radio. I don't like radio. Okay. I faced a lot of difficulties. So for radio, I studied how much I could, but then in the end, I relied on the questions and then I went on with the questions. All right. So after you know your chapters, you have studied all the topics and everything, then comes down to the questions. Questions are the only ones which are gonna make you revise all the topics that you've studied again. After you've done your chapters, come down to only questions. Keep doing questions, 2000s, 3000s, like just keep doing them. All right, then only you'll be confident enough. Okay, there are many question banks. For my attempt when I gave, I studied through and one more. They're like general nav, instruments, and radio. All the topics, flight plan, instruments, and not flight plan, performance, and everything was there. So Bali sample papers behind there are 6 sample papers. Do all those sample papers again and again because those are the exact question, not exact same questions, but the format which is there in that sample paper is gonna come for your exam in DGCA exams. Alright, Oxford for theory, Bali also some of it for theory, and then all the other study materials, textbooks, simplified versions out there in the internet. All right, so do study all the chapters. Questions are there behind all the chapters, and then also sample papers are there. Study them thoroughly. When it comes again from today, 3 days is your exam. Do only question bank. I did only question banks. Okay, not only 2, there were many more. I went through all of them, and then finally tomorrow is my exam. I went to my exam again. I simply, even though I know it, I simply kept on going. I kept studying those questions and everything. Yeah, that is it, guys. For navigation, again, one summary, it's huge. Oxford, Bali, and many question banks out there and many textbooks out there. But don't get confused with too many materials out there. Stick on to just one material, meaning from which you have to study your theory from. And then when it comes down to questions, just take random questions everywhere. Telegram, man, Telegram, there are so many groups, more than 2000 people in one group at least. Not one group, there are more than 2000 people in many groups, but they are all ready to help you. At least from the 2005 people, including me, some of them are ready to help. I have my own Telegram group as well. Just made one just in case. So if you guys want any material or anything, just let me know. I am ready to forward it to you. So after you've studied your topics, chapters, and everything, then come down to question banks. Keep doing those questions until your exam, and then give it a try. If at all you're not able to clear doing it solo, then I would prefer you to, again, I 100% prefer you for navigation, go for ground classes. Okay, don't take it risk. 70, 75,000. Anyways, meteorology and regulations will be saving around 60,000, right? So that money only extra 15K or something. Navigation, you just pay that money and go for it, guys. Navigation is very helpful. It's gonna come. Uh, I mean, you're gonna study a lot of basics from that. Only go to these good institutes because it's gonna be a quality education. Don't go to somewhere else and lose your money and everything. Take demo classes. Again, I'm telling you, these were the only three subjects I wanted to discuss to clear your DGCA exams because these were the only three that I gave, and because I'll be flying from another country. So these three subjects are the only one which I was supposed to give right now. After my flying, again I have to give one subject that is called RT, but that is for later. If you guys have anything, any doubt, anything, let me know. I'm ready to help you. I will help you guys. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So if at all I missed out anything which I wouldn't have, but if I have, then if you have any doubts, let me know. I'll again help you out. Okay. Let's conclude this video, and I'll meet you in my next one. I'm not sure about my next one, but I mean the topic of the video. I will post, but at the topic of the video. So if you guys have anything in mind, let me know. I will, if it is sensible enough to make one for it, then I will. Otherwise, I'll think of something and post it. So until then, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye. Take care. You know what you have to do right now. Uh, if you like it only, okay then subscribe, of course. Okay. Bye, guys. I'll see you soon. Take care.